this stuff.
Okay.
We live. They say stream starting soon. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stanley and my host. I'm hosting this show today, and my guest going to be Ivan Williams. They call him King Ivan in the streets. He might go by the name of Pi 3.142207.
It's my day today, 3.14 day, March 14th.
There you go. There you go. You got your own day. But we're gonna talk about this sheriff's race today. To my knowledge, it's 4 candidates. Mark Petway, which is the current sheriff. We got Chris Anderson, retired homicide detective. We got Jude Washington, which is a former narcotics. I don't know if he's still working there. No, he's not working there. A former narcotics investigator. And we got Republican candidate Jacob Reach, in which Jacob is the former police captain. He's running as the only Republican nominee. Anything you got to say, Ivan?
That's a good summary of where we are.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people have been talking about the sheriff's race and who has a chance and whatnot. And
right.
I'm just gonna, get straight to the chase. Can't nobody beat Sheriff Mark Petway.
Seems pretty unlikely to me.
He has done an excellent job. A lot of people have, and we'll talk about each one of them at length. What was that?
That
you
ring
got the
doorbell.
sound effects going.
That's that ring doorbell.
Oh, okay. So, we'll talk about each one of their chances and, kind of break down each person. But like I said, starting with the sheriff, he's done a great job. He has transformed the sheriff's office. Not to be critical, but it's a different approach than sheriff's past. And he has the support of the community. Let's go ahead and throw it out there. A lot of people are throwing darts at him.
Yeah.
For things that people around him have said and done.
Right.
But the sheriff himself has, in my opinion, been above the fray. Let's break down the demographics.
Okay.
Baby boomers.
Right.
They are traditionally church people. They are, of course, even older than we are.
Right.
They don't hear the scuttlebutt.
No.
They see him coming and visiting their church with his beautiful wife. You know what I mean?
Right.
They see him being reactive and proactive about their needs and their concerns. They don't participate in the hearsay and the yik yak, if you will.
Right.
Then you look at Generation X. He's done exactly what we asked him to do.
You know,
Literally.
I hadn't had a problem with anything he's done for real. I want to dig and find some, but I off the top I hadn't seen anything he done wrong. Actually, I think he's doing a doggone good job.
Well, so we'll be fair. What a lot of people talk about is the bingo stuff.
Right.
And as it relates to the law and the jurisdictions, whether he's cracking down hard, in my opinion, all of that is subjective.
Right.
I'm a neighbor. I've said this forever because of my affiliations with the neighborhood associations. I'm a neighborhood guy. And so if the neighborhood associations, if the neighbors, those little groups that get together, not just the
Right.
neighborhood association, but I'm talking about the little online groups and communities. If those people aren't complaining, if those people are happy, that's kind of that's how I look at it. I mean, isn't that fair?
Right. It is.
And so if a bingo hall is indeed in a community, if the bingo hall is indeed being a nuisance in a community, I just think we hear about it.
Right. This, you know what? Now that you on that subject right there. Okay, a lot of these bingo halls have slot machines in them. They're illegal as all outdoors. But certain communities get to slide by with it being, uh, being a illegal operation while the other ones don't get to slide away with it. And that's what I've never understood. Like, for instance, Lipscomb. That was a tax generating operation they had going on over there. But then some got greedy and started stealing, and which I don't know how did the AG get involved and came over there and bust all of it up. While on other sides of the city, they still got these bingo halls and stuff like that. That's what I have never realized. How does that happen?
Now, this is this is strictly me speculating.
Right.
But I would assume the Attorney General's office does its own investigations.
Right, right.
Aside from the sheriff's office, not necessarily working in conjunction.
Right.
Or, a lot of these go by, I don't want to use the word snitching. What should I say? People are reporting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are other operators snitching on the other operators.
And burning their
So
buildings up. It's
you got a whole bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I think here again, I don't want to suggest that any of them should be there, right? Like, against the law is against the law.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Hard stop. I think that, and I've said this a million times. Hold on, that's my dad. I've said this a million times. Black people are too comfortable with breaking the law.
Right.
We're just like, when it comes to the law, it's like, whether we want to or not on any given day.
Right.
And I just don't think that's good for our children who are looking at us, and then we perpetuate that. So, I am not in any shape, form, or fashion endorsing any bingo halls or anything like that. But what I am saying, which is germane to the conversation, while still addressing what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the person the person whose name has been associated with this stuff is not Sheriff Mark Petway.
Right.
Now, people fairly have concerns that the person's name who is associated is his brother.
Right. Right.
But, you know, what to suggest that Sheriff is endorsing whether or not his brother has a bingo hall or something like that, that I've never seen that. I've never heard that. I've never heard that suggest. It's just an accusation.
Right.
You know, and in fairness to the conversation, I'm just addressing it, right?
Right.
I don't think that scuttlebutt. I don't think that unproven barbershop talk, if you will,
right,
is enough to suggest or to say that Sheriff Mark Petway has not done a yeoman's job.
I go with
That's
that.
just my opinion. What do you think?
I like I said before, I think he's done a good job as our sheriff. I have no problems at all.
Yeah, and when you look at you know, where we started,
right,
as it relates to the Black community's relationship with the sheriff's department,
we've come a long way with that.
We come a long way.
Right.
When you talk about staffing, we've come a long way. When we talk about bringing particularly Black and white communities together, we've come a long way.
Oh, yeah. You know,
he
man,
has been...
Wait a minute, Ty. Now that you say that, you realize when we was in high school, Mount Brook still had a whites and color water fountain. We was in high school.
Yeah.
Mount Brook still had that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And think about it, you know, going back to our generations. Hold on, man. My dad about to wear me out. Hey, Pop. To be honest, I completely forgot. So I'm on a podcast right now. When I wrap up, I'm gonna head on over.
Tell your old man to
and Stanley Tarver said, "Hey,
yeah, big all
right." He said, "Hey, sorry about that."
Hey man, do your old man still mess with Wardell? They still cool?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got to call and check on Wardell, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
You were talking about something with regard to back to the talking about the whites only.
Yeah. In
Mountain Brook. Man, like we're not babies, man. Like we saw that stuff.
Yeah, we saw that stuff.
I remember going downtown with my grandmother, and you know, having the we were treated differently. I just say it that way.
And all the Blacks used to be at Sears and Roebuck.
Well, what was the name? Newberry's.
Newberry's, that right up the street.
And
That was our
then
lane.
I remember being like the only black person in position. Man, it's like, yeah, we've come a long way. And to the point, Sheriff Mark Petway has been a catalyst for that. He has been I think he's tied our communities together well. I think he has a great relationship with the with our brown community. I've not personally heard any complaints about, him participating with ICE and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when you look at reasons to remove somebody from office,
right? Make them valid.
Where is it?
Make them valid. We can talk all we want to. You got to have a valid reason to remove somebody from office. It ain't just because you don't like them personally. Has their job called for them to be removed? And I don't think he has.
And then you look at the learning curve, right? Let's just say, just it ain't gonna happen, but let's just say it does. That new sheriff gonna have to spend 4 years learning what Sheriff Petway already know right now.
Yeah.
Why put the county, why put the community under that kind of stress? That just doesn't make sense to me. Right. And so let's look at the candidates who would, seek to take his place. Going alphabetical order. Chris Anderson. Chris Anderson has not matriculated through the county, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department to where he could take over day one and run the sheriff's department.
Right.
Why even pursue the sheriff's job, to be honest? Like, I have no idea. That man is well off. That man has been on TV. He has a successful law career, beautiful wife and family. But it just seems like a job.
Well, a lot of people be doing these running for things for different reasons. I don't know if it's status. I don't know if it's a vendetta that they have against the now sheriff. A lot of it just
that's out
it's
there.
Politics.
One of them.
That's what it is.
And then you wonder why now.
I don't know.
When sheriff, I'll share a little story with you. When Sheriff Hale, the election cycle in which Sheriff Hale was defeated, leading up into that, I'm young and I want to see young people doing young people things.
Right.
And I tried to talk Chris Anderson into running for sheriff back then. It would have been an open seat. At the time, he had the TV stuff going on. There was not a strong name, talented, tall, handsome, well known. I think we could have had a sheriff there and he'd have been there 20, 30 years.
Right.
But his life was blessed in a different direction. And in my opinion, while he was pursuing those blessings, that opportunity kind of that door closed. Now Chris is young,
Yeah.
you
What Chris
know.
about 45?
I don't know exactly how old Chris is, but I know he's our age.
Right. Oh shit, he old.
Well, Sherry Pitway older.
Well, yeah.
And where I'm going with this is, if he play his cards right, I think next go round, or whenever Sheriff is ready to retire, I won't date him. You know, I have no idea when exactly how old he is and what the retirement and all that is. But if Chris plays his cards right, and in my opinion, he has not run a negative campaign. He has
Right.
not been offensive. And, you know, he says he's in it to win, but, you know, the truth remains sometimes people run that first time to get their name out there.
Right.
He is, you cannot argue that he is a community participant through his own life, giving back through his fraternity. I mean, 100 Black Men, he served with me. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Chris Anderson. And so next go round, or whenever Sheriff decides to retire, it's going to be pretty hard to convince me that Chris wouldn't be the next person up. What you think?
I can see it. When you're doing these elections, I look at William Bell. He ran 15, 25 times before he finally got into the position he wanted to. But he also was given the job off the top. But he did win one election. So you do have to be relevant. And once you get your name out there in the race and you start doing things around the community, that you can get your face out there.
Well, he's been doing things around the community.
Yeah.
But there's that, and here again, Chris may come on and say I'm dead wrong. I could be wrong. But he does not have that executive experience,
right,
to step into that side of it. You know, like, people forget that the sheriff doesn't just ride around in a big hat. And,
right,
you know, there is actual executive work going on behind the scenes, from you know, legislative pursuits, his legislative agenda, the Sheriff's Association of Alabama. I'm not sure what his role is now, but I do know that he's an officer, has been an officer. He has relationships with.
That's what it is. Relationships. Relationships.
Yeah.
Who do you rub elbows with that can push your agenda?
Exactly. He works, you know, there have been a couple of hiccups here and there, kind of provoked by the county commission, but he works well with the mayor and the chief of police for the city of Birmingham.
Right.
He has been there for communities like Fairfield, Midfield, Lipscomb, who have had police office. You know, they've had their challenges with their police department.
Their sheriff's still over here.
Huh?
Their sheriff, I don't know if they're still in Fairfield, but I still see them in Midfield and Fairfield. So I don't know what the deal is on that. Are they in Lipscomb? I don't know. But I see sheriff patrol cars up here all the time.
And you, like I said, he's so responsive, and he has his hand on the pulse of the community. I don't understand how or why you want to change that.
I don't know. What's the biggest knock on Petway?
Biggest knock on Petway, I really think, is that bingo stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know that I've heard anything else.
Me either. You know what?
And then finally, Jude Washington.
Okay.
And let me say this, if I have not been clear, I'm friends with all three of these people.
Right.
Jude has, in my opinion, failed to separate a mission, a goal, he's not proven that he wants to be sheriff. He has proven that he has a grudge with the sheriff.
Okay, let's start right there. I remember all kind of malarkey going on between him and the sheriffs, and losing jobs and getting jobs back. What really happened?
I don't know.
Court cases, all this litigation, and I like Jude too. I like his wife. I like both of them, but
I love them.
Yeah,
I don't just like them. I love them.
Right. So,
and I have, I've been in this game a long time, and politics and campaigns have stressed relationships.
Right.
Particularly because I'm not going to stroke anybody's ego.
Right.
I never have, and I never will.
Right.
I'm going to be honest about what I see. And in a conversation with Jude, he stated, and you just have to forgive me, I don't remember exactly what his mission statement was, or his answer for, why do you want to be sheriff? And he gave an excellent answer to that question. And I said, now go out and tell everybody that. And he hasn't done that. Because and I just think that's because that was an answer. Right. It was just a canned answer. But when you are talking from your heart, the things that come across are, that which you really most feel. And everybody, I have not spoken to anyone who does not caricaturize Jude as having a grudge. Everybody characterizes it as that's why he's running. So even if you have the best reason whatsoever, that's not transferred.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, how do you see that?
I'm in total agreement of y'all. I'm wondering, is he running out of spite? Did he run last time? Nope. Now you get the situation that came.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Hello. Hey. Okay. I'll call you after this podcast. All right. Okay. Yeah, when he want his answer, he don't care that I said I was in a podcast. Yeah, so you know, I say all of that, and here I'm just being true to myself. I'm just being true to what people expect of me, and um I don't think either one of them have a chance of beating Sheriff in this primary. I think down the line that Chris Anderson is best positioning himself to be the heir apparent.
Right.
And let's move on to the last name, that being, once we get past the primary,
right,
it's Sheriff against, what's this gentleman's name?
Jacob Reach.
Jacob Reach. He ain't got a chance of beating the Sheriff.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But
now I will say that there is a strong Republican strategy,
right,
that they are going to try very hard to get the sheriff's office and to get the district attorney's office.
That's the goal.
That's their goal. That's their stated goal.
We already know. They already said it. They never said it out loud.
And that on paper would be my pursuit as a voting Republican.
Right.
But that's not what's best for my people.
It's politics.
That's not what's best. That's not what's best for the people of Jefferson County. And so I say that to say it's going to be very important that people come back out in November for the general election.
See, now that's going to be the problem with black people. We ain't vote high. They don't like to vote 2 times in a row. We don't like to vote like that.
Man, I tell you, over the course of my years, man, I only focus on super voters.
Right.
Like, I do my best to encourage people to vote, but this conversation is for super voters. Right. This conversation is for people who ain't gonna miss one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but hopefully somebody watches this and says, I get it now, and decides to participate. But I just don't think people quite understand the difference. And mind you, this is not an indictment on Sheriff Hale, because he was wonderful. I worked hand in hand with him.
Right.
But I don't think people understand the difference between having a district attorney like Danny Carr, a sheriff like Mike Hale,
that can work together,
and the alternative.
Right. We got a comment down there by Anthony W. Schneed. He say Treasury of the Sheriff's Association. Who's that? Anthony, help us out with that. Who's the Treasury of the Sheriff's Association?
He's saying that's Sheriff Hale. That's
okay.
Not Sheriff Hale. Sheriff Petway.
That's
Sheriff Petway's office in the Sheriff's Association.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He got it all locked up already.
Say what?
He the Treasury.
Well, you know, that says a lot when you have 60 something counties.
Oh yeah, 67 counties. Yeah.
In the state of Alabama, and he's one of
He the top
4 or 5 elected offices.
Right.
That has to tell you something about his character. That has to tell you something about the regard that his peers have for him. That has to tell you something about his personal his financial expertise. And you just, there's nothing you can say to knock the sheriff other than scuttlebutt. That,
right.
What
did he do wrong is the question.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, until somebody is, has their day in court, I don't listen. I don't listen to that. And nobody has brought any charges against him. Nobody, it's not in the media. There's no dirt. It's just haters on social media are the only people that I have seen that have a problem with Sheriff Hale. I keep saying Sheriff Hale. I guess he's on my mind and I owe him a phone call. I meant Sheriff Petway, of course.
You know what? It's the same thing with, he ain't going through nothing Randall hadn't went through. It's just the haters.
It's just haters, man.
It's just haters. Because hell, this the sheriff moving this county right along. The mayor moving this city right along.
Crime is down.
Crime down.
Crime is down. It's down nationally.
Yeah.
It's down locally. We're following the trends.
Right.
We're following the trends. But I just can't say how proud I am and how happy I've been being able to have such a close personal relationship with the sheriff, with the district attorney, knowing that they are, treating Black people right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giving Black people a chance. So that's important. That should be important to us. And they're doing that.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We done covered all these right here. Let's talk about this Waterworks Board situation. What you think going on? That's the craziest stuff I've seen in my life.
My heart goes out. I was already stunned about the layoffs around the day after Super Bowl, the Monday after Super Bowl.
Man, that was crazy.
I was already stunned about that. But this one here, man, how heartless can you be?
Never in your life have you seen 230 something people fired in 2 months, less than 2 months. Who running the Waterworks Board now?
I guess AI. AI and a whole bunch of people they done brought in over the mountain and from the country.
Boy, I hear a lot of conversations about it. I hear Miss Tyson. I hear a couple others talk about it, but can we get this back?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Now, I will say this. This latest lawsuit
from Muhammad and Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forgive me, I can't articulate it.
Right.
The premise, but I thought it was a fascinating premise to pursue. It has something to do with the waterworks or the assets or whatnot were property of the citizens of Birmingham.
Right.
And
Right.
so if the state takes that over, then the citizens of Birmingham have to be reimbursed. Now, you just gotta
Right.
Google it, look up the
Right.
lawsuit. It's William Muhammad and who else was it?
Eric Hall.
Eric Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do the news conference on.
Yeah, and that was a logical, that had legal merit in my mind.
Wasn't William Muhammad working there at one time?
He was on the board.
Yeah, on the board. Okay, yeah.
Then you have Mayor Woodfin with kind of his bargaining chip, and that is he has to sign off on a federal loan that the Waterworks Board is pursuing.
See, I before it all got down to the nitty gritty, I was wondering why the mayor didn't just go and buy outright buy it for $1. I don't know. Just buy it.
Because the chairperson of the Waterworks Board would not do it.
Huh. And then
see, and this applies to every person that has been on the Waterworks Board,
right?
Especially every chairman that has been over the Waterworks Board since Anthony Underwood.
Okay.
And that is, they have all cherished their seats on that Waterworks Board,
right,
more than they cared about the ratepayers.
Right.
That applies to every single one of them. Because now, going back to answer your question directly, immediately prior to this takeover, here again, the board was trying to save itself. The board was trying to preserve the board, because if they sold it back to the city of Birmingham, there would be no board.
Right. We would own it.
Exactly. And it would be a department of the city of Birmingham, a department of the mayor's office.
But but think about this though. The Montgomery Democratic Coalition had a lot to do with this too. Abstaining from votes, it was just a whole mess.
Well,
whole mess.
I think, and this is just my opinion, I think the Black members of the Jefferson County delegation, I think that they deserve credit for stopping this takeover for so long.
Right.
Okay. Particularly State Senator Roger Smitherman, State Senator Marika Coe. I better not start dropping names.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's common knowledge because I looked it up. They were steadfast in what they was doing.
I mean, for years.
Yeah.
I mean, for years they have been, they have been the wall, if you will. Now, we can talk about votes within that in attempts to, block the overall efforts by both Republicans and Democrats alike. But overall, they have been they've been the savior, you know. And back to like what I was saying as far as our bargaining chips right now, you had the mayor having that bargaining chip, and I forgot it was something else that I wanted to say. It'll come back to me, but nevertheless, I think that this firing of all of these employees,
right,
was, I think that was the board's response. I thought, you know, like obviously they're not trying to be amenable.
And what they did, they stacked the deck on the board where you got 3 whites and 2 blacks. Sheila
No,
Tyson
you
be
got
pulling her
5,
hair out.
huh?
Sheila Tyson is so frustrated with it that, and I'm not saying this because of private conversation. She lets it be known on airways that we fighting for our lives.
Man, it's hard for me to see optimism after what happened yesterday.
Right, right.
You know, I have been saying forever that those employees needed a union. An employee association ain't that does not have the legal power of a union.
You know what, brother? I told somebody this morning. We're looking at, didn't Amazon try to form a union?
Right.
They were shut down. Now Amazon throwing people out the window left and right. We are so scared to unionize in this city, this state, that it doesn't make sense. Now, you're in a right to work state anyway. But if you had a union, would none of them people be fired? None of them.
None of them. And
None of
now
them.
that all of them are gone, you've missed your opportunity to unionize. They
Yeah.
fired everybody that would have been for a union.
Right.
You know, not to steal a term, but you're talking about we playing checkers and they playing chess.
Right. Checkmate.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
how do you recover from that?
Man, I don't know. I'm talking about people have been there 25, 30 years losing jobs.
And they will not find another job paying them
What they were making. So,
the salary and benefits and
the
retirement
benefits.
that they would have gotten from the Waterworks Board.
And check this out.
It's a real assault on the middle class.
And check this out. In order to live, some of these people gonna have to dip into that retirement just to survive until they find something else.
Absolutely.
Man, what do you see the Waterworks board being now? Well, not the board, but Waterworks this time next year.
More of the same. More of the same. Because you got all these lawsuits going on.
Right.
Employment lawsuits. I'm sure that these firings are gonna bring about some lawsuits. I remember what I want. That other thing, their credit rating went down.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody told me the quality of water went down already.
So I say all that to say they're not breezing along.
Right.
Like, they taking some hits, but their reactions,
they don't care.
Exactly. Show that they do not care.
Man. I never thought I would see something like this in my time.
No,
And
no,
guess what? Everybody black. Everybody black.
right. And how do you, how do you explain that? How do you answer that?
Modern day
You
racism.
cannot say that that's a coincidence.
Modern day racism.
Exactly.
From
That's
which
exactly what it is.
from what Sheila was saying early on in this stuff, those three Caucasians were having meetings determining everything that's gonna happen without including the two blacks.
And then they just walk in and vote.
Walk in and do that and go.
Yeah.
Now, this the funny part about it. I think is it Tuesday? Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. The water board is supposed to come out with the employee handbook with the rules and regulations in it after everybody been fired. They trying to approve one now. So these people lost their job without any rules and regulations.
I would assume because once the rules and regulations come out, at that point, it would be hard to fire all of those people.
Right. But they already had an existing rule book, handbook.
Right. And so they took advantage of the old handbook before the new one could come out.
Boy, I tell you the truth.
Yeah. they playing chess, boss.
While we playing checkers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I shouldn't smile. I mean, it's like my heart really goes out. That was devastating.
The way they're doing it, man. The way they're doing it. They're calling everybody in, from what I was told. I know what the drug test. Taking them, just taking them, one by one, P. Huh? Same way yesterday. They tell them they got people in the room and tell them they all terminated. Man, please. My heart goes out to them folks. Here, we ought to have a barbecue or something like that. That what colors do. Have a barbecue and a fundraiser for anybody from the waterworks department that needs help. We need to do something if we can do anything to try to help these people some kind of way. I don't know what it would be.
I think Mayor Woodfin set the tone.
Okay.
And hopefully other organizations will do the same. And that is, post your jobs. Be sure you're being thoughtful and proactive. And it don't take nothing to, say, hey, we got this little job over here that we've been trying to fill. You don't know what the talent level is.
Right.
Just put it out there. Just put it out there. It might be part-time. That might, that might bridge a gap for somebody. So I think the best thing we can do right now is to make jobs known for these people. Because, I think, here again, we think about donating food and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, these people have jobs. They're coming from jobs. They don't need,
you're right.
Emergency type help. They need long-term help. They need, what am I going to do next type help. And so that's the mindset I think that we should be in.
I saw Jeffco is about to have 55 people. I don't know what the job is going to be, but they're going to start them off at $35 an hour. So that might be an outlet they can explore. I know US Pipe, they down there hiring right now. I think they starting off at like 25 an hour. So, when I hear about something, I put it out there, but it's going to be hard to find employment for 220, 230 some people right off the top.
It is. It is.
And you know,
at that level of income.
right. And you know, we talk about retaining our college students here, and they leaving because the money ain't right in Birmingham. They can go somewhere else and do a lot better. We're gonna have a migration now because some of them people gonna leave. They're gonna have to.
I don't know, but what I will say is we need to, and this goes for everybody. This is for everybody. I see this across the board. Learning doesn't end.
Nope.
And so a lot of people fight for jobs and or look for jobs that just aren't there anymore.
Right.
It just requires an entirely different skill set.
You know what, and you just say it's so poetic right there. You realize that most of our HBCUs are what they call it, liberal arts colleges.
Mm-hmm.
So the level of education that we get in there, social work, education, business, social sciences, those jobs are basically a thing of the past besides teaching. Social work gonna always be needed too.
I was about to say social work is one of the best degrees you could ever have.
Yeah, but in order to make real money with social work, you gotta have a master's. I mean, not a master's, damn near PhD. To be really honest about it.
You get in there with a master's. I think you still can do well with a master's.
Yeah. But we're in the technology age,
right,
bro. We're in the technology age.
Well, we're still, there's still a lot of jobs out there in as far as skills are concerned. But here again, we all want to start off at $60,000, $70,000 working somewhere.
Right. Ain't gonna help.
Like, we live in this social media age where people have unrealistic expectations, and it just, if you start out, let's say coming out of high school and go to what do you call it, like Jefferson State
technical school.
Exactly.
Okay.
Lawson
State. Yeah.
Being an electrician or a plumber or something like that. Like within 5 to 10 years, you almost in 6 figures.
You know what? I got personal plumbers that come to my house. I don't call no company. I got personal electricians come to my house. I don't need to call no company. And these guys, they living good.
Exactly.
They living good. Just hard work, just hustle.
Exactly. So I don't want to come across like there aren't jobs out there available for people who don't want to go to school. But I will say this as it relates to a college education. A lot of people are critical about whether a college education prepares you directly for a job.
Yeah.
That is becoming less and less the case.
Right.
We acknowledge.
Right.
But a college education teaches you how to think.
Right.
Like
how to live on your own, how to make decisions.
Well, I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about problem solving.
Yeah.
I'm talking about research. I'm
Right.
talking about how to come to a conclusion, how to actually make a decision as it relates to life. And I'm not talking about uh, um, everyday things. I'm
Right.
saying actually, how does the world work?
Right.
What does foreign policy have to do with me today?
Right.
A lot of people they just don't get it. They
Mm-mm.
don't understand how one of the things that really, it's a great soundbite, but it's so stupid when you look at it.
Right.
Like Killer Mike made that comment, we should have a policy where only rich kids go to war.
That's dumb as hell.
That's stupid. Like, okay, so where are all these poor people gonna work? If
Speaking of,
we erase the military of people that come from the heartland, people that come from poor areas in Alabama, okay, where are they gonna work?
man,
So these sound bites sound good, and they, I think they are good to make us think, but at the same time, we live in a country that is very, very complicated.
right.
Extremely
You know,
complicated.
I remember it might have been 5, 6 years ago, Killer Mike said that he was not gonna buy anything that wasn't black.
And
He,
he
he,
couldn't make it.
it didn't take him 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He said, "Man, we
It
don't
didn't
make no
take him
underwear."
2 days.
He said, "We don't make no underwear. We don't make
We
deodorant."
don't make nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So, you know, I, a lot of people live on the internet. They believe everything they see. They don't fact check. They just roll with it. If you don't fact check, you doomed.
I want to, at this old age, I know certain questions to ask people when it comes to stuff like that.
Right.
Where'd you get your information? And if people get all their information off of particularly YouTube, no, because nobody is hiding the truth. This is for all my conspiracy theorists here. Nobody is hiding the truth, keeping it out of books and hiding it on an obscure YouTube channel. I promise you that. I promise you that. There is no hidden truth on YouTube. There's no hidden truth on the Stanley Tarver page. There's
Right.
no hidden truth on
Mm-mm.
the Ivor Williams page.
No.
That's the only place it is, and it's the God honest truth. That is not how life works. That's what a college education will tell
Right.
you. Like,
Yeah.
that does not make sense.
Yeah. You know what? We can talk like this, man, because we've been through it.
Yeah.
My son, I talk to them about certain things, and they don't get it.
We
But they're
didn't
trying
get
to
it.
get it. We didn't get it either. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm quick to say that, I say things for those one or two people out there who had more sense than me and want to avoid the mistakes that I've made. That's who I'm talking to. But to the people who want to bump their heads,
Yeah.
bump your head. I had to bump mine too. It is what it is.
Well, we done bumped the head. I got a knot on the back of my head right now.
I'm
because
serious.
I didn't listen.
Because I didn't listen. Because I did not get a whole lot of the things that I wanted then because I didn't listen. I didn't get a whole lot of things that I didn't want then because I wasn't patient. I didn't get a whole lot. I didn't get my way because it wasn't time. And I wouldn't sit there and listen to people who wanted to tell me how to do it. But if you can't do that yourself,
Right.
I'm not mad at you because I couldn't either. You know, if you want to bump your head, bump your head.
Sometimes them head bumpers hurt.
Man,
Cost
for a
you something.
long time too. For a long time.
So yeah.
But man, let me go.
Yeah,
My dad
I got a
is
hair appointment.
wearing
I
my
gotta get my
ass
hair
out.
cut.
Huh?
I gotta get a haircut. I got an appointment at 3:00. I gotta get this bust down. I'm looking rough around here.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity again to talk
Yeah, man,
about.
love this here, man. We need to do this maybe weekly or something like that. There's a lot of stuff we could talk about.
It's a lot of stuff we could talk about. There's a lot of stuff we could talk about. But be able to, I'll post it on my channels and stuff.
Yeah.
And here again, I just appreciate.
Wait a minute, one more thing. How did Will Boyd come off to you?
How did what?
Will Boyd come off to you?
Man, I love him.
Yeah.
He the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't know he was a Cardinal.
I didn't either.
He's a Cardinal.
Like
he brought a ball to the boat.
Man, he's a very impressive person. And so yeah. I told him, I said, man, you got to get on my man Stan's podcast. He got way more folk than me.
I'm pulling for him, but he's not gonna make it out of the primary.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If he gets on all of the popular podcasts,
yeah,
I think he may get into a runoff with Doug because there are so many. A lot of people forget that generation, the baby boomers, they locked in with Doug.
Yeah.
Because of the 4 little girls.
Right.
It ain't really much talking to them. But our generation, a lot of us have most of us have fond memories of Doug.
Right.
But we're not beholden to him in the same way our parents are.
No, we ain't.
And a lot of us are tired of seeing the same names over and over again. So
I've been sitting in the cut, man, just watching how he moves. He got a whole lot of being a black man. He got a whole lot of white women down south.
Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy. Hey, he got over 600.
It's crazy. And so when I look at that,
yeah,
if black people just say, just like the conversation we had last week, and you didn't know it, but right. I started giving a lot of thought to it that second and then immediately thereafter. But if we just look at ourselves and say, all right, I'm gonna be there for my brother.
Yeah.
If we just do that, right? Let's see what happens.
You know what? I'm gonna say
60% of the Democratic Party is black.
Right. I'm gonna say this. He getting my vote. I don't know how much weight it's gonna, but when you got people like Gary Richardson on his show saying don't waste your money. I mean, don't waste your vote because he ain't got no money. And you got people to listen to that.
I know,
black man.
But my whole point is the people he talking to are that Doug Jones group that I'm talking about.
Right.
They're the baby boomers that they really do want Doug Jones to win. And they think he has the best chance of beating Tommy Tuberville because he's been senator before. Like, they really are buying the Kool-Aid.
Right.
What I'm saying here is let's just win the damn primary. Period.
Right.
Let's just focus on that first.
And I'm
Let's
hoping
make
like
history.
hell.
If 60% of the Democratic Party is black, let's be on the national news on that Wednesday with them talking about Alabama has a Democrat, a black Democrat,
Right.
running against Tommy Tuberville. Let's see what happens.
And I'm praying that once Tuberville gets the nod from the Democratic, not Democratic, but Republican Party, his name is added to the election. I'm hoping that residency shoots him down.
I am too, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm terrified of what Tommy Tuberville is gonna do as governor.
Yeah, me too.
I'm terrified.
He's crazy.
He's a hardcore racist.
Right. And you know what? It's just crazy how he's at Auburn with all these black kids winning for him. He ain't like black folks. That's crazy to me. But you never know.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and I don't know. I think I told you I had this conversation with Adelaide Tron. And I was like, why didn't y'all say more? And he answered the question by saying there were a few of them that did, but most of them just didn't want to get involved, et cetera, et cetera.
S-Dub say Tommy already beat Doug once. Yeah, he did too. Yeah. Yep.
And I gave some grace to that, but you fast forward and their silence changed the trajectory of our state.
Right.
Now, I believe in God and I believe that, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say they all need to look in the mirror every day.
Right.
And deal with the fact that their silence, them not caring, them not voting, them being dumb as bricks, that it changed everything, man.
Right.
It changed a lot of what could be. That man should not be relevant.
No. And you know what? All them coattail riding off Trump. And every day Trump get on TV and tell us a damn lie.
But
about something.
I think Tommy Tuberville is a perfect example of someone who arguably, who's riding whose coattail is what I'm getting at.
Right.
What I'm saying is Trump wouldn't be Trump if Trump didn't have Trump supporters.
Right. Right.
Trump wouldn't be Trump if people didn't vote for Trump. I don't blame Trump for being the hustler. I blame these fools for being hustled.
Hey, you see what's her name in Georgia? Marjorie
Taylor Greene.
You see her her area flip blue.
Oh, that the black man running against the Trump the Trump person came out ahead, but they got a runoff, if I remember correctly.
No, I don't think they got a runoff.
Oh, they didn't?
Clear out. They just smoked him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna check again, but I thought it was clear cut.
Well, I struggle with, stuff like that, because am I happy that a Trump MAGA Republican is no longer in the United States Congress?
I ain't got no
Absolutely.
problem struggling. I ain't struggling on that. We don't need them.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. But I don't know the person that replaced her. Like, I don't know how far left he is, because
We knew who she was.
That's just as bad. That's
okay, S Dub did say S Dub said it is a runoff. Okay, S Dub, I was right. Yeah, it's a runoff. I must have caught it early. S Dub is sheriff too.
Say what?
S Dub is a sheriff too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sheriff. Deputy. Well, let's wrap this thing up. You got anything you want to say?
I don't, man. Like I said, I just appreciate the conversation.
Yeah.
I think that Sheriff Mark Petway is by far the candidate that Democrats should be getting behind and voting for. And then come November, when there's Sheriff Petway and this other guy on the ballot, I will definitely be voting for the Democrat.
Right.
And as after we get past the primaries, I look forward to having some conversations with you, because there are going to be more times where I'm going to be for the opposite person that you are for. And so I'm looking forward to having those conversations as it relates to statewide offices.
Okay. Well, that about wraps it up, everybody. Y'all hit the like and share on this for us, so we can get this information out to everybody.
Thank you, man.
Love. All right, love you, bro.
Love you, bro.